Hey chicks, let's chat. So, happy Saturday. Hope y'all off to a great weekend. All is well on my end. So this ain't too heavy, but it kind of is, right? So the question is, these days and times, what's the rules with when it comes to dating someone that, either your friend or an acquaintance of yours has already dated, right? Because if I'm honest, it just seems like nowadays it's really no rules. You have it seems like it's no rules on either end, right? And I saw this thing on Instagram where the guy was saying that it was kind of funny, but it was like there was some underlying seriousness to it. Like you could tell, he was saying that if he's dealing with this young lady and that's the young lady that he's intimate with and he's not using any protection, and hey, if she get pregnant, it's cool, whatever, he says that is the woman that should be off limits, right? That's the person that she's off limits to anybody that's his homeboys or whatever like that, right? And I can understand it. And I see he didn't say anything about if she's my lady or if, she's my wife. But he said this particular woman, if I'm intimate with her in this way, she should be off limits. She's off limits to my friends, my homeboys, right? That's what he said. Now, he said if it's a young lady he's dealing with and he's using the condom and, she is fair game. Like, she's not anybody that he's trying to, cuff or, say that, oh, well, such can't talk to her or whatever, right? That's not the case. So, in my day, I done seen it, done it all, right? Here's the thing. I feel like when you and your friends, if y'all similar, a lot of times, y'all like similar guys, or y'all like guys that may be within the same friend group. Generally, when you're younger, I'm speaking when you're younger, because you tend to hang in packs, or you doubled up or tripled up, so y'all tend to date similar to that too. Sometimes you mess with his homeboy, you mess with his brother, or and your homegirl mess with like that. Especially if y'all live in the same area or go to the same schools, then a lot of times y'all just might date within the same friend group. I know that has been the case with when I was coming up, and me and some of my friends. Now, when it's like that, a lot of times y'all just might like the same guy, or y'all may like the same guy at the same time, and he gonna pick which one of y'all he gonna deal with, or either y'all will like the same guy after a certain period of time. If she dated him in 90, come 95, now you might be dealing with him, right? Now, those are the kind of situations that I have seen, and a whole lot more. I have seen friends break up because of dudes. I have seen girls become closer because of a dude. I have a best friend that me and her became close because of a dude, right? I mean, I don't know. When I was younger, I just was kind of like, I don't know. I kind of was like half boy, half girl, like mentally. Like, I didn't care. Like, I care in terms of how I carry myself, but I was not willing to stop being friends with you over this guy. Like, to me, it was just so many to pick from. So if you a cool chick, I'm not finna stop being friends with you about this dude who's no good trying to deal with me and you both. Man, you cool, man, you can hang. Bump him. If you want to talk to him, talk to him. If I want to talk to him, I talk to him. Now, that's how I used to move when I was younger, because it was nobody that I was really super tied to emotionally, and when you younger, you hear you there or whatever, so it's like certain things don't matter. So I have actually became friends, and right now today, me and this girl, we still friends. Now, which one of us did with the dude? Now one of them. So to me, it's like it never was a good reason to let a man come between two women. I never have seen a good reason for that to happen. Does it happen? Yes. Do women come between two men all the time? Men will actually die about their women. Like, for real. And we have seen a lot of stuff like that lately on, you know, through social media with women, you know, killing other women behind men and stuff like that. And, you know, all of that to me is a no-go. Like, that's a no-go, you know. But I said, you know, those things to just say, you know, where y'all stand when it comes to what's the rules? You know, are there any rules? Because people say, well, you know, I never deal with a man that my friend have dealt with, right? Okay, well, what if your friend was a whore? A horror. Capital W. 2 A's. A horror. And a horror. Capital H. She was a horror. Horror. Right? What do you do then? Because I have seen girls who would try to date and deal with certain guys that they think might like you. They'll try to beat you to the punch, so you don't get that one. But what they do, they'll go ahead and hunch them, have sex with them. So that supposed to mean, since they did that, you can't talk to him. But he might have really liked you, but he just knocked her off just because she was willing and throwing it his way. Do that mean that that's somebody who you're not supposed to deal with? You know, because what your friend, my thing, I have always felt like this. If my friend, or if me or my friend, if we're horrors, we can't have everybody. Right? If she done mess with 20 dudes, okay, the city ain't but so big. The city ain't but so big. Now, maybe I won't deal with your baby daddy, but if you done mess with everybody, and some of them dudes like to me, it's a good chance one of them dudes I'm probably going to talk to. Right? Now, you know, it's different strokes for different folks. I could just speak on, you know, how we was moving and shaking when we was coming up. Nowadays, I feel like as a grown woman, we ain't dealing in friend circles. We ain't, you know, we out of school. We probably don't work together. So it's really no reason that we should be coming across the same dudes, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? If you and your friends or your associates kind of, you know, if y'all at y'all, of course y'all at the same age, generally speaking. But if y'all dealing with the same dude in this day and age, when y'all don't live by each other, don't stay in the same neighborhood, don't work at the same place, don't have the same career, then that's intentional. That means either one or both of them went out their way to deal with each other. Right? That means that was intentional. One or both of them went out their way to deal with each other. So which one of them you gonna be mad at? Because that was very intentional. They wanted to do that. Now, did they have good motives behind wanting to link up? That's what you don't know. Because a dude will go ahead and link up with somebody you know just to piss you off, just to get back at you. A girl will go ahead and link up with a dude you done linked up with just because she low-key envious and jealous of you. Right? She might have a little crush on the dude or want to deal with him, but really once she found out you was dealing with him, that upped the ante. Now she really want to deal with him, especially if you the type of woman that you a mover, you a shaker, you have, you know, your pick of the litter, like you got a little name for yourself. Don't think none of your friends won't come behind you. Don't think nobody that is an associate of yours will not come behind you. Yes, you right for the picking. So you may as well get used to it. Especially if you're a younger girl, get used to that. And you get used to not letting your feelings be hurt behind it. Right? Of course, initially you may feel some type of way like, oh, y'all was on some scam type stuff, or, you know, but then you understand that what they say, something is a form of flattery. Like when people like copy you and want to do what you do, they say that's a form of flattery. Really, that person a lot of times is so impressed with you, they want to walk in your footsteps. So you have to look at that as like a nod to you, and a nod to the type of woman you are. Because really, low-key, they're super impressed with you. They're super impressed with you. They might be so impressed with you that they low-key envious of you. Right? It may be some jealousy along the way that probably even saw, it's possible that you overlooked it. Me, I know I have overlooked a lot of that in my life because I didn't like, I feel like, you know, if it's a situation where you have some jealousy towards me, number one, you don't know my life, right? Because if you really did, I don't see why you would be allowing that jealous spirit to take over you, you know, because truthfully, I feel like, you know, it takes a certain type of person to be able to walk in the shoes that I walked in and live to tell about it and have your head up and your chest poked out along the way. Right? You have to have really been through some things, tried and true, conquered that stuff, you know, dealt with it head on. Right? And if you really know what a person has been through sometimes and the obstacles that were in front of them, you really wouldn't be jealous of them because you really would know, if I had to deal with that, ain't no way I could have dealt with that. Ain't no way I would have been able to do that. So for me, that alone takes away a jealous spirit from me, because no matter how impressed with this girl I may be, or no matter how wonderful she may seem on paper or in person, I don't know what it took for her to get there, right? But if she's impressive, it probably has took some things. And no, who knows what it's been. I don't want to walk in her shoes, because maybe whatever she had to deal with, maybe I could not have conquered that thing and came out shining like gold in the way she has. So I never want to trade places with anybody. But you have to know that is real life. That happens. Like I have went on dates and stuff with guys when I was younger, and they would say, oh yeah, you know, such and such had you know, they said, oh, take me the way you took her, you know. So it's like I always have had little stuff like that come up. So that made me be kind of like a secretive and a private person, because I felt like if soon as certain women know that I deal with him, his stock finna go up. It's finna go up. He gonna think it's him. The whole time is them wanting to emulate me or wanting to have a piece of something that I've had a piece of, because they feel like if it's good for her and she, you know, in their head she's somewhere up, then surely it's good for me too. So I want a piece of that too, because then that makes me similar to her. No, it don't never, we could never, would never. So when dudes started telling me stuff like that, and I, you know, like I said, I have always paid attention to little stuff anyways, and I have seen little stuff like that along the way, but it just started making me be like, okay, you know what, hush, because soon as you let it out, it have been chicks that I was cool with that messing around, and you know, I done told them, hey, you know, I'm messing with old boy, such, you know, because I'm thinking, you know, we older, so we ain't really running the same circles, you know, we ain't going to the same school anymore, you know. So if I'm telling you I'm kicking it with dude good to me, you know, I don't expect, when I'm telling you this, I don't expect that to be somebody you go after and deal with. Understand me? Because had I thought you would do that, I probably wouldn't have told you. Right? So when I know I told you this, then a couple of years later, before I find out, you come and tell me. So you like, yeah, you know, such, you know, oh, you know. And because, man, you supposed to be cool, you know, I'm not going to just, you know, I'm listening. I'm taking it all in. Because right now I'm saying, okay, well, clearly she ain't who I thought she was, right? But you done told me. You told me because you probably thought he was going to come tell me some kind of way I was going to find out, but you jumped ahead of it. Okay, cool. Now, again, I don't really believe in falling out with females about a man, you know, so I'm taking it all in. But, like I said, because I'm older and mature, I would be a fool to tell you about any other dude and anything that we have going on. You just sealed it with me. You will never know any type of moves I'm making and who I'm making them with after that. After you have told me that you went and dealt with that person. So then when I tell him, hey, you was hollering at somebody that, you know, he was like, I ain't never dealt with nobody that was your friend. You know, he was like, I wouldn't even do that. So I'm like, And then I had to think like, well, you know what? He never knew that was my friend. It ain't like he ever seen us together or anything like that, you know. But it is the same neighborhood, you know. So, you know, he was like, hey, if she knew that me and you had something going on, you need to straighten her. Because I didn't know. Because I wouldn't even, plus that was nothing anyways, but I wouldn't even razzle dazzle in that way. But if she knew, and I was like, you know. But like, yeah, that was just another life lesson. You know what I'm saying? This is, you know, when I was younger. So it's just, you have to be mindful that there will be women in your circle, whether it's your friend, associate, or whoever. There will be women who they will intentionally seek to deal with somebody that you have dealt with. Now, sometimes it's just like, hey, you know, they after a coin or something. If you say, hey, dude spend money or he give money, etc., it may not be that they jealous hearted or anything like that. They just trying to go get what they feel like you was getting. Now they're going to be the person that do not get whatever it was you was getting. Why? Because their motives are wrong. They're not gonna get it. And if they get it, they're gonna work way harder for it than you ever had to. Yeah, believe that now. So, like I say, you know, especially like for the younger generation, you know, like I said, I don't know what the rules are, and whatever the rules are, I'm sure I probably have broken them a time or two myself, because I don't sit and claim to be like the most perfect person, this, that, or the third. And what I do realize is that it's situations where that you would say you would never do, and life can start lifing, and you will end up moving around in a way that you said, you know what, I would never do that, right? And it could be dead wrong, and you still did it for whatever reason. One thing I have to say, like, I feel like a bad relationship, a bad breakup could put you in a space and have you moving around in a way that you never thought you would move around. And you might go and deal with somebody in between that time that you like, man, I don't know how I ended up messing with buddy. Like, oh my goodness, such and such used to mess with him. Like, you know, there are situations and circumstances that life can just happen, and you just not trying to be as responsible as you maybe normally are. You not trying to be as safe as you normally would be. You just not trying to be as, you know, straight laced. You just like, what, it's whatever right now. You know what I'm saying? And so women, we do have to be mindful, you know, that when we going through stuff, to not just let ourselves just do anything and just, you know, go down some crazy, you know, roads and paths, because that can happen. As we get older, we don't have a partner. Sometimes loneliness, there will be some lonely nights. And you can find yourself like, you can find yourself scrolling on Facebook, and boom, that green light on, and somebody that hopped in your inbox right quick, and you like, now he know I used to mess with his cousin, you know, and yeah, you know, and he know, but he putting it on real thick, and you about to say, what you talking about, what you trying to do, what you know, so. And that's just me being like just real transparent, because we live in a real life. And it is a lot of people who could, I guess you could say, oh, I would never, and well, for everything that you probably say, oh, you would never, oh, I just might have, oh, there probably was a time when, because life happens. Now, if you one of those people that you've always been just super straight laced, you felt like you've never, you know, and I used to feel like, oh, I ain't never crossed nobody, or if I did this, I let them know, you know. Sometimes just because you let a person know something, that don't make it right. That does not necessarily ease the blow all the time, just because, you know. And that's how I felt like, I'm gonna do this in front of you, so you ain't gonna hear about me talking to him. He's gonna be over here when you come over here, so you gonna already know. Like, I felt a lot of times that if I told you, if I was straight up with you about this, because I do believe in being straightforward. I don't believe in sneaking around. I don't really believe in none of that. So I would, if I find myself dealing with somebody, before I let you find out the hard way, I'm just gonna be like, hey, listen, this is what happened, boom, boom. You know, I felt like that was the best way for me to do things. But what I didn't realize is that don't always ease the blow. The blow is still a blow. Just because you told them, sometimes a person may feel like the audacity. She had the audacity to come and tell me that. She shouldn't have even told me. But I am just the type of person that you ain't gonna catch me on no date with nobody. You ain't gonna just so pass by my house and his car there and everybody know what his car, that's his car, and then no, we ain't gonna do that. I'm grown. If you're gonna be mad, if you're gonna cuss me out, whatever you're gonna do, then you're going to do that. You know, and I only feel the need to come and tell you something if I feel like, you know what, this may be offensive to her, or she may feel like I have, you know, did something wrong to her or something, you know. So if I feel like there's any chance of it being a misunderstanding, then I'll come and be straightforward with you. And like I say, that didn't always ease the blow. Have I fell out with people? Yes, I have fell out with people. Not a lot, but there have been situations where, you know, a person just felt like, oh no, you know, you shouldn't have talked to them or something. I even had, like, it was one time I had a best friend, we fell out, and the situation was real crazy because I had moved over to this neighborhood. She was already staying over there. While I'm moving in, it's a dude next, so this story time. While I'm moving in, it's a dude that lived next door to me, and he starts like helping or like having conversations with both of us. So he easy on the eyes. Oh yes, he was easy on them eyes. So me and her, you know, after he gone or whatever, because I don't know if it was something with my AC or whatever, it was something. And so me and her both was like, oh, we look good, you know, both of us done said that or whatever, right? So boom, boom, boom. What happened? Something happened. I don't know if she seen him at the store or something or whatever. Like, I'm new to the area, so I ain't even moving around that much like that anyways. I'm trying to get my house together. And so she saw him somewhere, and I don't know if he asked for her number. I don't know how that went, but she was like, but she had told me like, oh, you know, what such, you know. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, right? So then a couple days later or whatever, she was saying something had happened, you know, and he got pissed off at her about some banging on his door or some craziness or whatever. So I was like, okay, so I ain't think about that no more. Now, I remind you, he's still my neighbor because he lived by me. So days passed, weeks passed or whatever, you know. Dude, buddy, always friendly. I'm just like, hey, whatever, you know. So then he just stepped to me one day. He was like, listen, you know, nothing happened with me and your homegirl. He was like, and I really want to talk to you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, So I went back to her. I was like, so what y'all situation was? Because buddy done said, you know, he done tried to holler at me. You know what I'm saying? So soon as I brought that back to her, she was offended out the gate. Soon as I told her he had tried to, so I was like, what y'all situation is? Did y'all, you know? And she was like, no, we ain't do nothing. Okay. You know, me and this girl didn't talk. Like, that was like, we fell out. Just on that. Just because I had told her buddy had tried to talk to me. Like, she was just that mad about buddy trying to talk to me. And I was like, what, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm wondering, like, dog, me and this girl been best friends since we've been a child, since we have been kids. And I'm telling her that this dude done tried to holler at me, and I'm asking her, like, what's your situation? Like, what happened with y'all? Like, 'cause did y'all, if y'all messed around, then no, I don't want to mess with somebody behind her. And her feelings may be attached to that. So I didn't want to do that in that moment. So that's why I was, like, really trying to see, like, what y'all situation was. Y'all didn't do nothing. Y'all weren't going together. You just met him the same day I met him. Okay, so so now you finna stop talking to me because I told you he tried to talk to me? Okay, well, then it was what it was after that, didn't want to. So, you know, eventually we, you know, kind of started back talking a little bit, but, you know, truthfully, it was never the same with us. So it's like, it was weird to me because I'm like, how you fall out about a dude that now one of y'all is in love with, or now one of y'all, like, it was no relationship, or, you know, like, How you fall out about something like that? So then I felt like, nah, it was something else to that. Like, had to be either you didn't tell me the truth, or, you know, it had to be something connected to that. You know, so anyways, you know, but like I say, like, I always tried to be the person, and I always even try to encourage my homegirls, like, to not be mad with another girl about a dude or whatever, because number one, you don't know what he's telling her, you don't know what the situation, circumstance is. Her feelings are just as valid as yours, and that's one thing as women we tend to do sometimes. We tend to act like our feelings the only ones that matter. No, her feelings matter too. What make your feelings hold so much weight, especially when he ain't your husband? Now, when he your husband, your feelings do hold weight. But I think even with that, you have to consider, if that's your husband, if he was going to spend time and investing time and energy and this and that over here, then you have to understand that this woman gonna have feelings too. He did that. Yeah, she should not have engaged, but at the point where she engaged, she do have feelings too. And just as a one, I just feel like sometimes as a woman, we just really discount other women. We just act like they can't have feelings. They can't be caught up. They couldn't have made a bad choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never understand how, you know, if you married or you in a relationship and that man get a baby outside the house, and then you say the baby can't come over there. The baby can't come, you gonna stay with him, so you gonna forgive him, but you gonna be mad at the kid and her mama. I don't understand that. If you're gonna be mad with everybody, but you're gonna make up with him, but you're gonna hold a grudge against this child for this child whole life can't even come to your house or nothing. So now this child gotta go without a parent just to spare your feelings. I don't know. And I ain't saying that my position is right on everything, because I have my position on things just based on life experiences that I've been a part of or seen or whatever. So other women will have their experiences, you know, and I can understand a wife being so hurt behind a man cheating on her and getting a baby on her. I can understand her being angry, this, that, or the third. But I can't understand you being so selfish that you're willing to let that kid go without their parent. You know, knowing the damage that causes. I don't care if you had to say, listen, buddy, we finna get custody of her. Because I'm not finna be wondering about you going over there giving her money and this, that, or the third. The baby here now, the baby gonna be in our house. How about that? You know, I don't care what it is you had to say, as long as you have some type of understanding that this lady got caught up in the situation too, and the baby came and the baby ain't, you know, her responsibility. Now, a lot of women don't care. They have no understanding, you know, and that's where I guess personalities and situation circumstances are different. You know, I can't say that you're wrong. I can just say that, I can just say that, you know, I would hope that I would not move around like that. You know, I would never want to be so selfish in that way, because I do think that is selfish, you know. I don't know. You know, it could get tricky, you know, because then you know, no woman wants to, you know, invite the, you know, say, okay, I forgive you, sir. You did that, you know, welcome the baby in with open arms, and then here come another one 2 years later. Or you find out, hey, here it is, you over here playing stepmama, and then they still messing around. You know, you don't want to risk that. So I understand that, you know, so I understand all that, you know. So those are some situations I would hope to not ever, you know, have to be a part of. But I feel like regardless to what end I was on, if I was the woman dealing with the man, and I would try to, you know, be as understanding as I could about her feelings, and I would hope that she would be able to be as understanding as she could about my feelings. But, you know, today's time, it's like everybody is out for self, and nobody really want to consider the other woman, and, you know, nobody want to consider other people's feelings. So, you know, those just some of my little mismatches that I have experienced through the years, you know. And, you know, it's just weird, because I don't know, it's just when you come up at a certain time, and I feel like you're moving around, you doing grown people stuff, you making grown people decisions, You don't get it all right, you know, and you hope that as you get older, it's some lessons that you have learned and that you're able to have a stronger moral compass, right? But what you don't know and don't expect are the other things that, you know, come at different seasons and different stages of your life. You know, I remember when, you know, I was really wanting to have a baby, right? That's another thing that will make a woman drop her moral compass. When she is having like baby fever, she'll overlook some stuff because all she sees is what she wants. Now, if you willing to help me get there, I ain't never got to tell your wife. Me and my kid will go and grow up and live somewhere else. A lot of times, I'm not saying me. I'm just saying that there are situations and circumstances like that, yes. Whether it's girlfriend, whether it's wife. Hey, he over here, he willing and he keeps supplying the seed that I need. I'ma get it. And we'll deal with everything else later. You know, so there come different times in your life where you start just kind of sometimes going against things that you always said that, you know, you would stand up against, you know, and you start saying, well, hey, I know this wrong, but I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, do this anyways. And now what I don't like is women, and I done said this before too, like, I don't owe her nothing. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You do owe that other person something. When you dealing with a person and you know they have another person, I feel like you do owe that person something. At minimum, you are already being disrespectful to their relationship, right? He is too. But you at least owe her some type of respect, right? Because when here it is, you mess with her man and you know that they're in a relationship. And then you got a nerve to be calling the lady. You got a nerve to harass the lady too. That's disrespectful. You doing too much. You're dead wrong for that. And that's one thing I don't believe in right there. Now I don't like women getting into it about men, but listen, I'm gonna stand 10 toes down. You're not gonna disrespect me by no man. No man. I can't accept your disrespect when it comes to any reason. Me personally, when it comes to being respectful to me, because I try to be respectful to other people, so I really have to bite the bullet when it comes to you disrespecting me, and I just have to sit and eat that. And sometimes I have had to sit and eat that. Why? Because at a point where you have a lot to lose, sometimes even your respect ain't worth losing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I have to just, okay, there have been a time or two that I done had to say, you know what, I'm gonna let you have that. I'm boiling on the inside because I don't play about the disrespect, but at the same time, I got so much to lose. I live good. I'm happy. And if I get on you, and if I really get on you the way I want to, it's gonna be a problem for me. Now, is it going to be worth that in the end for me? No, it's not. You just won. Now you got me out of my comfort zone. In jail, sitting on public toilets, knowing how bad I hate public toilets. Oh no. You hear me? So sometimes we really have to, like, think about the things that we're doing and think about the decisions, because some of those decisions that you making in the moment, or because you feeling lonely, or because you're in a bad situation, or because you just getting out of a terrible situation. Sometimes we can make decisions in those moments that have long-term repercussions for us, you know. And you know that's the lesson, you know, regardless of whatever it is you may be feeling. Sometimes a man could be done took you through so much and you so hurt that you just don't, because of what he did and how disrespectful the woman was to you, you no longer have any respect for anybody in their situations. You like, whatever. If they married, they got a relationship, whatever, I don't care. That woman didn't care about me. That's how women will start to feel. They didn't care about me, so I don't care about nobody else. You know, hurt can really do some things to us. Hurt not only weighs in on our heart, but it weighs in on our mind, and it can even start eating away at us physically. Women will get sick, lose weight, gain weight behind issues from relationships. It happens for men, but you rarely see it happen for men. That they take it that bad, Usually when they taking it that bad, they're gonna end up doing something to you or themselves or everybody when they start taking it that bad. But sometimes we'll just let it fester and just eat on us, and we just eat ourselves crazy, or stop eating, or just develop all kind of sickness within our body because we have not been able to mentally deal with certain things. And it's just the matters of the heart just sometimes will get the best of you if you can't get a hold of it. So yeah, it really, when it come down to it, I really don't feel like there are any rules anymore. I think every situation and circumstances, it just depends on the situation and the circumstance, because a lot of times a person might say, well, if you don't deal with nobody, just because this person dealt with them, you ain't gonna be able to deal with nobody. Everybody done dealt with somebody. So I think it depends on your moral compass and what you can do and be okay with. See, one thing about it, when you start doing certain things and you hiding it, and you got people silent about it, don't say this, it's something wrong with that. If you gotta hide it for a long period of time from a particular person, you staying out of pictures, you doing all because you don't want that girl to see that you wrong. You wrong. Anytime you got to go out it's one thing to be private, it's another thing to be secretive. When you got to do stuff in secret, you already know you wrong for what you're doing. Not do it mean you gonna stop? No, you probably gonna double down, because one thing about them secret things, some of them secret things be the funnest, be the best. Y'all done had a great and wonderful time. But see, that's the trick of the enemy. That's the trick of the enemy. See, they make it be fun and good and all that at first. Sometimes it end up being the worst situation, the worst decision you ever could have made. But it was fun when it was a secret, wasn't it? It was fun. Y'all thought y'all was getting one over on Buddy, or y'all thought y'all was getting one over on old girl. Years later, I was wrong for that. I didn't mean to hurt you like that. Yeah, I thought, she made like she was this, or he made like he was that, and I was wrong. Yeah. See, one thing about life, you can't cheat it. You cannot cheat it. You cannot cheat it. You cannot cheat it. Like, when people be in a head, like, if I feel like a guy has really did something ill to me, or a female, my friend or something, she really crossing me up or something, you know what? Do I be mad? Do I hurt? Yes, but only for a season, because I know that I know. As good as I am to you, for you, about you, you will live to regret that. You will, even if I never see the regret. Even if I never entertain you again and hear you tell me you shouldn't have did it. You will. Like, I just believe that. And I believe it because I've seen it happen so many times. I've seen so many people they just do. That's really what it came down to. You got your just do. You got your just do. You thought, that this person was dealing with this person. You didn't care nothing about it. Boom. That person turns out to beat your tail down all the time. This person turned out that now she done gave you some. Now she be trying to kill herself to keep you in a relationship. Listen, you can't cheat it, baby. You can't cheat it. But anyways, yeah. So share with me in the comments some of the things that y'all feel like, you just don't do this, or you just don't do that. Some people say, I would never deal with my friends. I would never deal with my friend's husband. I would never deal with anyone that my friend had a relationship with. Okay, well, what if their relationship was when they were in college, and now y'all 20 years out of college? He's a decent man. He's single. Is he off limits? Because your homegirl dealt with him when y'all was in college. Even though your homegirl might be married to somebody. He may even have had a marriage that didn't work or whatever. 20, 30 years later, where y'all stand on that? Or does it hold weight if they have a kid? You know, does that change anything? Because, okay, well, they went together, but they didn't have no kids or whatever, you know. Or they was in love, but they didn't have no kids. 20, 30 years later. Hey, is it fair game? Can y'all still be friends after that? Or, you know, does it matter if maybe you know, maybe it could be 20, 30 years later, but you may know that your homegirl still love him. Does that change the dynamics? She might be with another man. She may be married to somebody else, but you may know she still got a thing for him. Whole time he's saying, listen, you was always the one I wanted. Now you single, you ain't got nobody, he ain't got nobody. Is he off limits? Or do you have a grown woman conversation with your homegirl and say, listen, this is the situation right here. You married, I'm single, he's single. That was 25 years ago when y'all had something going on. Do it matter? Do it matter that it's 25 years? You know, or are we mature enough to say, hey, is that going to affect our relationship? Now, if you tell me that's going to affect our relationship, I won't do it. You know? So I don't know, you know, because see, and that's where things get tricky, because see, you got to really know the type of friends that you have. Because like I say, I have seen girls who will go and be with men just because they think that man like that girl, just to kind of try to run interference. You thought I liked him, that's why you went and hollered at him. You ain't even like him. You thought I liked him, or you thought he was finna holler at me, and you thought that was gonna be a good connection for me. So here you take your tail and try to run interference. Now, see, you got to be able to look at and see what that is, because if you know your friend did that on purpose, and she knew he was trying to get at you, and she just gonna think, because in her mind, see, when women do stuff like that, they think they better than you. They might think they finer than you. They might think that, you know, their occupation is a little better than yours, so they could, you know, just move. Okay. And then you and him end up married, and she just got another body. Like, man, these things could go so many different ways, you know what I'm saying? So that's why it really is important, the kind of people you keep around you, because you want to keep people who won't do certain things just to avoid you from being with a man, or to, you know, you want to keep women who not jealous hearted, who not envious, who, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's important to be able to really know the kind of people that you're dealing with. And hey, listen, I learned a lot of things the hard way. As observant as I was, because I was paying attention to stuff when I was younger, I was able to call a spade. But even with having that, there was still times when, hey, I can't watch it all. As much as I try, I can't watch it all. So you might just get in on me, especially if you got help, especially if it's a team effort. It's only one of me. Now I'm a movement by myself now. But if you got a whole bunch of people plotting and planning on the scheme, then y'all probably gonna win, because you know what? My mind is on the come up and some coins 9 times out of 10. But that one time I can peep a whole lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I can't get everything. So because you're not going to be able to get everything, the best thing you could do is keep the right people around you. Get rid of the people who you know they slimy, you know they grimy, you know they moral compass is not good. You know they're a horror. Keep certain people out your game room. Keep certain people out your circle. And that will keep a lot of things down. Enjoy your Saturday.